And we're live. Hello, everyone. I mean, like, fucking hell, Lloyd. There's like, what, 3 games in a row in 1 week? You're going to kill yourself. Hello, everyone, and welcome to my blind shots of Black Void. For those of you who don't know, blind shots are the games where I run by, take the rules, read them for a while, we make characters, and just go for it, and hope we can make mixes into the world. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I have 3 lovely players who are all about to go into this hellhole I'm about to go through, starting with Henrik. Henrik?
Hello. Should I introduce my character?
Or... Yes, Henrik. We do this every time.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's the first... Anyway, that's the second time I'm going to introduce him. Anyway, my character is called Roshan. She was adopted by a very wealthy, bank head who is known as Maziar Esfahani. And she has been mostly educated by this bank clan to become a dedicated... executioner or assassin who collects debts that are unable to be paid by killing people. So that's good. I like it.
I think that's probably fair. Next up, we have my boy, Chex.
I am playing Fahud Hillel, who is an old man. Tufts of white hair line his liver, spotted weather-beaten head. His leathery skin, old ragged robes across his frail frame. Hello, he does wear the symbol of the Ahmait Difin, which is a deaf religion.
And finally, we have our camel's boy, but, long-time listener, first-time caller, Dan.
I'm playing Magon, who is a hulking, slightly feral, slightly wolfish kind of human, part of a clan that he was a bodyguard or soldier for one of the ruling families. Before they were betrayed and collapsed. And he smuggled away a child during that time and placed them with another family. And now he watches over that child as they grow. He also has a hobby in whittling wooden things with his claws.
All right, so let's start the game. Now, once again, it's a blind shot, so I'm not going to be 100% of the rules. And I'm using the beta version of this. The rules will probably change as we go along. So if you're watching this, wondering what rules change there are, I don't think it's probably a good idea. I mean, like, there might be some things that might not be the same as when we're playing, as there will be in that real game. But Kickstarter is going on right now. It's got 3 days left, so go buy it, go. We're going to cut to about maybe 16, 17 years before the game starts. It is raining in the city. This is like a lovely cut of this beautiful underground Persian city with the buildings all with that funky little concave, what's it called? Concave? Convex? Can I remember it? That weird round symbol, weird solo round buildings with the peach top of them, and it's all spread out all over the area. But we cut down away from this beautiful, majestic city surrounded in the underground by large scaling rocks and what counts as day and night, which is just cycles of the animals and creatures that live up above it that give this false artificial light upon the city, to an alleyway that runs along the side. Every now and then within the city itself, there is some form of what people would consider dew falling from the sky, the closest thing they have to rain. People from the city don't remember rain, but those of you who come from outside and have promise of in do know what it represents. And we cut to an old alleyway, a small, abandoned one that stretches along the bottom part of this Persian-esque style underground city. There is a commotion and a dragging sound as a figure is formed. He's wearing full armor, and you can tell by his body and his form that he is in the form of kind of like a wolf man, as he drags an horribly injured woman through the ground all the way over. She's coming along and she's holding a child in her hand, and they stop for a moment and look around desperately to make sure they're not being followed. She pauses and takes a deep breath, gentle but hopefully certain that you're not being followed up. And then we cut to you, Magon. Magon.
Magon sniffs at the air, trying to sense if they are being followed from the any of the attackers that they just narrowly escaped.
A hand tugs on the back of your armored shirt. It's a small hand, a little girl being held by this woman is slowly pulling along your shirt and just laughing like a small little giggle. She doesn't really understand the situation that you're in, and she just sort of just seems to be happy to be out in the rain. The woman holding her looks up at you, and she coughs a little before she looks at you and says, "Listen, I need you to promise me something."
What is it, my lady?
I'm not long for this world. Ahmait Difin will come for all of us, but it comes for me first. But do not let it take my daughter. Magon, I know you are one of my father's men, and I know through him that you are a good man, wolf or otherwise. But please, all I ask is that you ensure that my daughter lives. It's the last thing I request of you, the last thing that the Bograssi family will ever request of anyone else. Find somewhere safe for her to grow. Watch over her to the end of your days. Swear upon the blood of Difin itself.
He looks down at his large clawed hand that he was using to carry half carry this woman, and it's just covered in blood, and the dew is washing through it and onto the streets. I've always been trying to kill and not to heal. I'm sorry. I cannot do more for you.
She looks at you and smiles, and it goes, "It's fine. What we did, we brought upon ourselves. This is just the way of life in the city. Just, make sure my daughter does not go through the same." And as she passes it over to you, she smiles and then she slumps back, quiet.
He
Go on.
actually slumps into an alleyway. He kind of helps lower her down, and she he holds her hand in one of his massive hands as he's cradling this baby almost within the other hand, or this small child. Though you may be gone, I will not forget you or what your family has done for me. And he produces a small little lupine, wolfen kind of toy, wooden carved toy that he's been working on, and he puts it into the hands of the child as the mother fades away. And then he too fades into the darkness and the dew.
We cut to about maybe 17, 16, 18. We haven't actually established how old you are, but as long as you're legal, it's all good. We cut to a good 16, 17, 18. No PG-13 people, no children. 16 years later, it is execution day. Roshan, you have grown up to be a strong, hardcore, badass woman, mostly known for your bladed censer, which is the weapon of executioners all around the city itself. And today is one of those days that you have to simply pay your dividends. A house sits there, and you stand outside it. It's time for you to go in and collect your debt. Our man Falivan has not paid his in a very long time, and the Esfahanis are willing and happy to have you go collect.
All right. Again, Roshan herself is now in her full uniform, which again under her very dark red robes with black embroidery, she hides a well created and well crafted leather armor, but from afar you just see this kind of dark black red shadow that approaches this larger building where her designated prey has been known to preside in. And as a good executioner, she will first stay in the shadows, observe the prey, and then when she deems the moment right, she will strike. Basically take him in, read him his rights, and then end his life. So I would basically try to approach unseen to survey the area and take in all the parameters.
I absolutely love it because at the moment, our man is having the most fabulous freaking party that's ever been seen. People are coming in from left, right, and center, and he is flaunting his money and riches and incredible wealth as much as he possibly can. He doesn't know about the payment he needs to make. Well, he knows he has to do it soon, but he doesn't realize just how late he actually is. Almost like he's having one last party before it goes away. It's just quite fitting. With the party going on, I would say we can make our very first roll of the day. And the difficulty for this is going to be, I would consider this, okay, so this is how the game works, for those of you who don't know. It's a D12 system. I know, brace yourselves, it's crazy. D12 system. Difficulties go from, base difficulty is 7, which is your base average, 5 if it's easy, and 3 if it's really easy, or it goes up if it's more difficult. You're trying to roll to beat the number. The players have a set number of skills with modifiers that they add to things to roll. In this case, difficulty is 5 because the party's going on. No one's going to pay attention to you no matter how you stealth in. The only way they're going to recognize you if you make yourself known. So if you're like walking in with your bladed censer out, which is the weapon of executioner, people are going to know. If you're going to be sticking to the shadows and waiting for it to be catching up, people aren't. Base difficulty is 5, and I'll give you a +1 extra modifier to your roll.
Okay, so I'm using stealth. My rank is 3, so it's a modifier of 2, and I get a modifier of 3 thanks to agility, so a +5 in total. So
roll it.
Anything.
So there's no way you can fail.
But like 1 would be a failure, right? Or some.
Oh yeah, 1 would be a critical failure. I suppose you're right. My bad.
I rolled an 8, so it's 13 in total. Well, plus
right,
1, so 14.
Even better. Describe how you come to the party and how amazing you are.
Well, currently I don't have my the bladed part of the censer out. I'm just currently have it slung around my shoulders, my torso, and I'm moving around, moving closer, and then using the other part of the censer, which because it's like the bladed end, and there's this very fine silver chain with which I can basically easily ascend to the higher stories of buildings, as they have a lot of these outcroppings where you can easily sling around and then get up. And the most of the buildings, as it has a lot of crime rates, don't have like windows in the first story. So I go up and I move along the second story, looking down on this partying crowd, and just with a silent gaze, identifying, trying to search out this person who is flaunting his money. And as I see him, I just I fully turn to this glass row or glass windows, looking down on him. And as I have positively ID him, I would then start to unhook the bladed censer and ignite the chamber within and prepare to make a grand entrance, so to say.
Go for it. I'm not stopping you. What a freaking 14.
Yeah, and I just, as I like to have a good, a crescendo, so to say, I jump through the window, splintering it inwards, and then just land on the central table, and the bladed censer just flopping down, already burning and crackling, and the entire room falls silent, I would assume, as someone. And I'll just point to our dear prey, and he goes, "Your debt is due, and as you have not paid it, we will take your blood for it. The executioner has come." And yeah.
Now, the second people see your bladed censer, they instantly know what kind of person you are. And as such, they do not mess with you. People start to back away, given space. Nobody messes with the Esfahani family. They are pretty much the head of the city you're in. And a bladed executioner is always justified in their actions. At once, our man looks about desperately, hoping for some friends or maybe some enemies to give him a hand. He starts to run around the crowd that formed a circle around you, but nobody's letting him out. They all stand there, stopping him from leaving. Finally, he prostrates himself in front of you, begging you for his life. Please spare me. I only need a few more days. This was just a party to celebrate being who I am. I didn't realize that it was going to be so soon.
You have truly shown what you are, and that is a failure. And we don't deal in failure. We deal in debts that are being repaid. Your time has run out. And she's basically starting to move closer and basically spiraling the bladed censer around her, like basically in 2 hoops, basically, you understand? Like she's alternating the sides, kind of, then moving closer to him, and then going for like a all-out strike downwards on him.
He looks at you and he looks about, and his eyes get focused, and he reaches up and pulls out a dagger. He's like, Ahmait won't take me without me fighting! And then he charges you with the blade.
All right. Which one happens first?
No, you tell me. The script, there's no initiative in this way. Do you want to dodge and then hit him, or do you want to just smack him in the face and kill him, or how do you want to go for it?
This kind of like fight or flight instinct is very familiar, and I know that this kind of reaction will happen as soon as they realize that they can't negotiate, they can't wriggle free. So I know this, and I was already preparing for this kind of attack. I would try to dodge out of it or let him attack and then go for a full front attack on him.
In which case, don't roll dodge. Instead, roll your weapon attack. Difficulty is 7, which is base because he's happy to back you. But you have a +2 modifier because you have your body is ready for it.
3 + 3, so that is okay. As long as I don't roll a 1. I rolled a 12. That is an exceptional hit, right?
Yeah, he's freaking dead. Go for it. Feel free to describe it. Finish it up.
Basically, the first attack, she goes for the full torso just to stop him from attacking her. And just like, as she moves, she rips it out again and then twirls it one wide arc over her head and then sinks the bladed censer into his face as the blades are carving in and the heat is slowly scorching away his hair and his face. And the entire room fills with this like very pungent smell of charred flesh. And he topples down.
He falls over, and at his feet, as he's dying, you can see his face is melting off, and his skin is slowly being burnt up. And he looks up to a pair of really nice-looking, like, slippers with a fine little curl thing at the end. And he looks up at one, and he realizes one of the members of the party he had not paid attention to the entire time. As Censer Esfahani himself, your boss, is standing there with his arms folded, looking down upon him. He crawls towards him, cursing his name, and 1,000,000 times over 1,000,000 times until finally his energy just runs out and stops right there, just as his throat basically burns out and he stops moving. The party is pretty much over. Everyone goes quiet. People start to make their way out, except for Censer Esfahani, who stays and looks over to you. He steps over the body. He's a fairly large guy. Steps over the body, wipes himself clean from apparently the filth that was said about him. And he's like, oh, man, all you had to do was speak to me and pay my debts. It wasn't hard. Well, it's nice to have a new house.
Indeed. So,
how goes your day, my dear Roshan? He says as he walks around you while he's talking, because every single character must walk around someone else while they talk. How goes your day, Roshan?
And she
have you said me well?
Yeah, as soon as she like starts speaking, she like goes into this like still upright position, but her eyes are cast downwards, and she probably also moved down from the table because again he's obviously her superior and like the sole bred contributor, so she's obviously needs to show him respect. He goes, quite well, my lord. I have found again this wretched being, and I was able to round up 2 more who were a bit more on the run.
Understandable. You have done me well. Unfortunately, your work for tonight and possibly the next few days is not done yet. I have one more task of you to do.
I am a weapon.
There is
Sorry.
You got some current. Sorry, it was good. I'm loving it. He walks over and he picks like this really funky looking like hardcore spiky grape, and he splits it with like a horrible curved dagger as he starts to eat while talking to you. He goes, "There is one more person who must fall by your blade, or at least I hope he helps to fall by your blade. As you know, Ahmait Difin has his priests along this neighborhood, and not that neighborhood, among the city, and they are one of the death cults. At least they don't like to call themselves the death cults. It's just what we like to call them behind their backs. There is one that has arrived back, and it is your job to kill him."
As soon as the debts will be repaid in blood.
No, you misunderstand. The debt is ours.
We have to.
We give praise. Oh, sorry, go on.
We apply our service in a favor, as a favor.
The priest of Difin bless every murder and horrible slaughter that we do, through thick and thin, through all that lives and all that dies. As such, we grant them a boon. They have a gift that runs within their priest themselves. They're able to name where it is they die, but not how or why. Your job? Follow this man. Keep close to him. Befriend him. Do whatever you have to do. Until he decrees that he is ready to die, then take his life. Until that moment, you are to keep him alive at all times. If we are to break the moment when he is meant to die, at the place that he's meant to die, and he dies before he does, the gods themselves will curse us. So is our debt. Is that clear?
It is understood. I will run swiftly.
Remember, you only kill him when he decrees it so. I do not know when it will be. He will find a place and his time, and then he shall pass away. Now, go. I have redecorating to do.
Of course,
as he
my
looks
lord.
at the wall.
And she
You
basically.
will find him in the temple, and it gives directions to where the temple would be.
She very swiftly wrenches out the half-buried censer of the head of the newly deceased, and kind of like cleans up, and then heads out towards the temple.
All right. As you
fashion.
step out, making your way over to it, we will cut to a person that's quietly sitting in the corner. As you move almost past him, you recognize him. It's that lovely woven carpenter who's always constantly around people that you are for some unexplained reason. He goes about the city a lot, but you've started to spot him quite well because you're quite perceptive when it comes to things that you have to see over and over again. Magon. It's Magon? Are you there?
Yes.
Oh, cool. It is another night of you carving and keeping things safe and watching over your charge as you normally do. She comes out of the area once again on a clean kill, just like she's always done, never actually being a help. I'm not sure why you're even here. And you watch her come past you on her way out to what looks like a new mission. What do you do?
So I think he's carving some sort of decorative headpiece. Maybe like for the top of a door or something. It's skilled work as he sort of sits just on the side of the street, carving at this what would be a rather large piece of wood to most people, but to him, not so much. He just gives a slight nod as the girl walks by.
Tidings to you, carpenter.
When she says that, like there's just like a flick of his claw and like a little piece of whittled wood just flies off and into the dirt, and he just lifts his head ever so slightly and says, "And to you, banker."
She gives him like a polite nod as she's heading. Like she's on a kind of like a time schedule, so just like a quick greeting is all she can bear, basically.
Excellent. As you disappear around the corner, pretty much moving away, Magon, you are about to do whatever it is you wanted to do before. But before you do that, please make me an observation test. Difficulty is 9. And I believe you have observation because you're at 0. So yeah, make the roll. Dan, are you there?
5. Yeah, sorry, I was muted.
Oh, never mind. Silly you. 5, right?
Yeah, because I have no bonuses, but I have no negatives. So it's a
Woo! Oh, don't forget your observation counts. Your bonus to that. Oh yeah, you have no awareness. Okay, you're good. All right.
I have even awareness, which is lucky to have in this game sometimes, unless my smell helps it out at all. Because
I will give you a +1 for your smell, but even that won't help you, unfortunately.
Cool.
You carve it up and you keep an eye on him and you start to move away and basically do what you need to do. But you stop as you spot Mazia Esfahani pop out of his building, and he looks over and he stares, watching the lady walk off, Roshan leave into the darkness. As he stares, something is strange about his eyes. You're not quite sure. And he leans over and whispers to someone that has appeared next to him. You blink your eyes to sort of focus more on it, but then that person is gone. And that's all you see.
A furrowed brow on his lupine face. He knows there's a great many strange creatures in this city, and he is one of them, or his race of Gurgan wolf people are one of them, but he's not seen someone disappear.
Not technically before your eyes either. They just faded out, which was strange and odd, and you don't understand it very clearly. Maybe just moved really fast.
He will linger a little bit, just to see what Esfahani is doing, or if anyone else he can spot anything of this mysterious disappearing person before shifting.
Nothing around you. Nothing whatsoever. And Esfahani goes back inside and he starts declaring his place as his. And he starts like telling people to come in to redecorate and to remove the stinking corpse off the floor.
I think he's seen that happen many, many times now over the years. I think the wolf people age a little slower than human beings due to their constitution. And he finishes the little bit of detailing that he was doing with one of his claws. Before hefting the piece of wood and walking off into the city after the girl.
All right. So with that in mind, we're now going to cut to the Temple of Difin that sits within the city itself, and to our third party member. Check. How do you pronounce your name? Because I was going to say Farad, but you said it's something else.
Fahud.
Fahud. Okay, let me pronounce that word.
Fahud Halal.
Fahud Halal. Fahud, returning back to the city that you've seen. Returning to the city that you've seen in your dreams has been something of an eye-opener in more ways than one. It is strange that you've picked here to be the finder. It's strange that Ahmait Difin has picked here for you to finally lay your last rites, but you don't question what a death divine does. You simply just follow along. You are sitting down in prayer in front of your headpiece, Tagiabana, who continues the prayers towards Difin along with you. And he starts giving you the blessings of your final rites and everything that needs to happen and the gods that have allowed you to be here and thank you for serving him for much and all of that. And Tagiabana, let me write it down so you guys remember it. Hang on. Tagiabana continues it on, basically giving you the blessings. Eventually, the prayers finish, and then she sits up and she goes, "My dear Fahud, are you well?"
Wellness.
I hope my prayers have reached you in a way that you fully respect.
Oh, indeed. I'm happy with my lot in life.
It's also my first time around players to someone as this. You can see Tahagi is very young. I have not been blessed already to do such things before, and it is my first time of meeting a priest who has served us long enough that Ahmait himself has decreed where they will die. If it's all right with you, before head priest Esfahani comes in, may I ask you some questions?
Fahud will actually reach out and take her hand, and he will say, "It is an honour to be the first for you to send off and cleanse." And of course,
she looks over and she sort of like cocks. She slightly like blushes a little bit because even though she's still young and you seem like a really nice guy and she's happy to, she goes, "I would love to hear about the places you've traveled, the worlds you've seen, the things you have done while serving what's called the Shrine of Difin. I unfortunately have not been given journeyman status to travel the world and praise his holy death name. As such, I would love to hear more stories of what it's like to be you. And also what it's like outside of the city that we live in."
I am sure in your time to come you will experience much the same as I have. You will experience flames flood across lands, suns set yet still stay in the sky, deserts freeze and yet still burn, and death, of course, is ever present.
Her eyes are like widening a little bit, and then you see she's about to. She continues. She goes, "And to also be blessed to pass away in our city. We are truly blessed to have you here." At which point you hear a voice behind going, "Now, child, there's no need to disturb the man." And you see the actual head priest, Esfahani, walks in, big guy, not like fat guy, just like really well worked out guy. "Come on, Tahai. I did not bring you along here to sit around and keep the man bored. Be gone." And then she's like, "Yes, sir." And she like bows quietly and bows towards you and gives you a smile. And she's like, and then she heads onto the corner. He comes in. He's about not as old as you are, but he's getting there. You can see the bit of the gray on his like really rough looking beard. And he comes in, he folds his hands and he goes, "Well, I have made the arrangements. You shall be receiving one lovely executioner. I sent her off a few times myself, the wonderful Roshan, from the Esfahani family. Apparently, they deemed you worthy enough to be blessed with their own personal executioner. I hope you're happy."
Happiness is a state of mind. It's neither here nor there.
You see him roll his eyes, and he's like, "Well, if it's all the same to you as you are passing away upon the great death part of the sky," wait, he wouldn't say that. "As long as you're going beneath the earth itself, I hope you understand that once again, it has not exactly been a pleasure to have you with us. I do not wish for my charge to be infatuated with ideas of leaving the city. After all, she is to serve here as the shrine's holder. So if you would keep that away from her, I would appreciate it."
We all appreciate different things.
He rolls his eyes and goes, "Quite." And so like takes a step and goes, "Now, sit down and if it's all the same to you, die quietly. I have things to do." And then he sort of like gruffingly walks on up and he starts like restarting today's like prayer stuff and getting ready for today's congregation as they come towards the shrine. We cut to the outside of the building. Roshan, this is the first time visiting the Shrine of Difin, which I haven't actually described. So, Chex, describe the Shrine of Difin.
The Shrine of Difin is actually quite elegant. It's all domes, arches, blazing copper in the sun, white stone. It looks very vibrant considering it's the Temple of Death. But it is because death is a renewer. And that is the kind of motif they're going for. So there is very much a vibrant feel around this place. Flower beds fragrant flowers expelling their perfume. Very, very Taj Mahal.
Very Taj Mahal. I'm feeling it. You come upon the building itself. It will be taking a congregation fairly shortly. You reckon in about maybe like an hour or so. But you know that your new assignment is waiting for you inside.
Oh, I enter elegantly and direct myself to the closest attendant.
There is no close attendance, but you do see one man sitting at the very front, in front of the pew. Here's a pew, fuck it. In front of the pews. No, fuck it, there's no pew. In front of one of the prayer mats laid on the floor, quietly in contemplation. There we go. Yeah, fuck this. Let's go all the way. There's a prayer mat laid down on the floor with a man kneeling. An older gentleman, looks quite wary, but he can tell this man is probably well traveled by the way his demeanor is, and he sits with his kneeling down with his eyes closed in prayer upon he looks upon the shrine of Difin.
As I'm approaching, I'll basically lower the half mask part of my uniform as a sign of respect and kind of like welcome friendliness, and then like try to circle around him, and as I'm taking in all the details, kind of, because again, I will have to kill him at some point, so I'm already like kind of calculating the angles, what is the best way, or what kind of ways would be suitable for him, and then I'll like circle around, try to get in front of him, and then address him in a respectful tone.
All right, before you make that roll, Farad, I think you're a man who's been around the world long enough that you'll be allowed at least a chance to spot what they're doing. Please make an observation roll. Now, because you don't have observation, it's at a -3. Difficulty is 5.
So that's a 9. -3 is 6.
All right. You're a man that knows your way around the world. You've seen things like this. Wow, I can't believe you made that check. Okay, I'm starting to understand a bit better now. You're a man that knows his way around the world. You've been through all of this. You've seen people come through, and you know you were waiting for a bladed censer to come and take your life at some point. Just by the way she's walking around, you can already tell she's trying to find your weak spots, where to get you the best, where to take your life. You can already see it from her eyes. You can sense her killer instinct from where you were sitting.
So for who's been sitting with his eyes half closed, he can see the kind of shadow shape going about him, and he smells to himself, and he opens his eyes and pats on the pew beside him and says, "Close the door that brings in the wind and relax a while."
As asked, I will close the door and then saddle up beside him in a kind of like a lotus situation, seating arrangement. I assume you are the priest that has been designated to me as companion and eventually pray.
So I have been told, and so it has been foretold.
I want to assure you that I am trained in many ways of death. So as soon as you've decided where and when you would prefer to meet your God, I am willing to provide any kind of final adjustments. It would just require a couple of preparations, and that's why I was measuring the parameters. Do you have any preferences, or do you have a set plan that I should consider?
The smile broadens on Fahid's lips. You've killed many?
Some people have passed among my blades, yes.
And what do you surmise to be the most glorious of deaths?
Well, that is a very interesting concept. A glorious death is, of course, a death that happens outside of solitude. The public enables death and glory at the same point. So I would not recommend a silent, dark room. But there are many places where you could die in relative publicity. But again, being executed is, I have to surmise, not the most glorious of ways, but there are ways to make it easier. Or, of course, we could also create a spectacle which would bring glory to you.
I wish my blood to be seen.
We could also prolong the execution process to show your endurance and your power of mind.
I'm an old man. My
Alright.
endurance is wearing thin at this point. And
That
death
is-
calls so sweet.
All right, it is noted.
At this point, I'm going to jump to the outside. Magon, you've taken your time walking through the streets. This is just another business, like any other business, to make your way down towards following her. You're not like following her directly behind. This is something that you do a lot of. You just keep an eye on where she's going and then just sort of follow her right afterwards. So when you arrive, she has just closed the door, and you see her close the door and go inside. It's at this point, as you see her close the door and go inside, that you spot a bunch of men, about maybe 5 men, making their way across from the other side of the road from you. Actually, no, yeah. As you get there, you reckon there's 5 men that are walking potentially in a bit of a hurry that overtake you at the same time after heading in. Make me an observation check.
I shall do. I think I just rolled a full 12.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow. All right, guys, that's an exceptional hit, which means I give you something extra. They're walking past you, and you can smell already the horrible stench of alcohol on their breaths as they're walking along. And they're like laughing and like moving along and sort of giving a bit of a giggle. And you sort of roll your eyes as you expect, once again, drunken men walking among the city, pretending to know what they're doing, whatever. It all makes sense. But then you stop, and then you look over at them, and you look at how they're walking. Your sense of smell is incredible. Like it's what you live by. So you can smell the amount of alcohol that's coming off the breath. But their bodies, 3 of them, their bodies aren't moving like people who've been horribly drunk. They're moving like people with purpose. 2 of them are just like, hey, oh yeah, let's go. This is really funny. And 2 of them are like, hey, I'm laughing with you. But their feet are walking in a straight line. It's the equivalent of someone showing one thing and doing another. 3 of these men are not drunk at all. Their breaths just smell of alcohol. 2 of them are passed out, but 3 of them are not. And they move straight in a straight line towards the door of the Shrine of Difin. And you see that one of the sober guys pull it open as they start to walk in. I'm gonna start describing the scene in both ends, so anyone can take over at any point they want. As you finish your words together, Faroud and Roshan, the door swings open and slams open as these 5 guys start to walk in. And they start like singing like a really silly death hymn, making their way down as they're coming through. And they're like, we're here for prayers. Prayer to Death Divine. Prayers to Difin. All hell is unholy name. Yeah, all hell is unholy name. And they like start laughing and like start jiggling on themselves. And this is the first time you've seen drunken louts come into the building. Just do what they want. And they sort of like saunter on in with like a big smile on their faces, and they're like laughing up. And you see 3 of them sort of like move towards the shrine as 2 of them come towards the 2 of you and start to make their way over there. Magon, what are you doing before I continue?
So yeah, after getting that extra sensory display and perceiving their purpose, he was going to just set up shop in front of, or down the road from the temple or something, but he doesn't He kind of hefts the pack of things on his bag. One of them is long and thin, and his cloak is pulled relatively tight around him. But he will. The reason he's kept his distance and hasn't been entirely discovered as of yet is that, well, the girl that he looks after can handle herself. Though this is maybe slightly unusual, she often has the jump on people, and often it's there for a purpose. But people don't move like that, and people don't cause ruckus in the Death Temple very often. So I'm going to be close by and ready to bolt at them. But I'm going to hang back and see how this situation pans out.
Yeah, as soon as these people interrupt and start piling into the shrine, Roshan will basically swiftly stand up and perform a 180 degrees turn, looking towards them and putting her hands behind her body, in a crisscross kind of this kind of it wouldn't make the impression as she's respectfully watching or preparing for whoever is coming, but she's actually going for the daggers that are in the back of her belt. She's currently standing, having them basically in their hands, just prepared, and she moves a tiny bit away from the priest who's kneeling, just in a protective position, to just have the whole thing in view, not being attacked from behind.
That sounds really fun. You have a lovely area of a zone of correction. I mean, the two guys see you and they start laughing. They start sauntering on up over you, a big, large grin on their face, and they start "Hey guys, check it out! Got an old man over here!" And they start coming on them and goes, "Hello, old man. How you doing?"
You should avoid things that require an apology.
What's that supposed to mean? He says, drunk and leaning in front of you, with his eyes slightly turned.
And I'll turn and look at him. I'll say, it's a mistake for you to come in here.
How's that a mistake? We're here to worship on the shrine of Difin, like every other man. Don't you know? This is what makes us important.
No, it's a mistake to come in here without reverence.
Reverence? And he sort of saunters his eyes around a little bit, he's not quite sure what's going on. Reverence? What makes you think I, of all people, need reverence in this world?
Everyone needs reverence in this world. It's what keeps us grounded.
And he looks, he's and he seems to say something. Then he sort of stops and looks over to over his shoulder for a second. Then looks down towards you and goes, "I don't like your tone."
Indeed. Can I pull my dagger and stab him in the femoral artery?
What, to kill him right there?
Yeah.
Do it!
Now,
you have no actual stabbing skill, do you?
No, I have no skills whatsoever.
So it's -3?
So -3 to start. He's drunk and not expecting you. So difficulty is 5, so it's easy to stab him.
You could try for a kind of a backstab, because he's definitely surprised and the weapon is small. So
I'm not going to give you backstab. Because
come on, buddy.
He's right there. He's not going to be what? You know what?
I missed by 1.
Get a backstab.
Okay, because that'd be a 7. With the -3, that would take it down to 4. So
4. So you'd miss.
Well, I don't know how the backstab plays into that.
It's just +3 attack mod.
All right, so that would make it 7.
All right, and when you backstab, what happens?
You would get a higher chance to exceptionally hit, but he doesn't, so it's just a hit.
It's just a hit. Roll damage.
Roll damage, D4. 1.
1. All right. So, do you go first throw?
No, the artery in between his groin, his groinal artery, the femoral.
You're gonna stab him in the dick.
No, that artery.
You're stabbing him in the dick.
Yes, okay, I'm stabbing him in the dick. If that's what you want to go with.
Let's just go with what's there. Let's not be y'all know the arteries and shit, because you don't have that skill. Y'all stabbed him in the dick. So you
Oh,
sit on
nice.
your knife and it goes right and it screams as he holds on. The second he screams, the three guys turn around like almost instantly and they start to approach. And as they start to approach, they start drawing weapons. At that spot, they just seem to be going straight for you two.
All right. I would, as they're drawing weapons and approaching, I would also switch to my bladed censer and move like close to him to kind of like make a barrier between these three and the priest, who is currently like half standing up, I guess, as he's moving with an upward stroke.
Make me an observation test before I ask you to roll initiative.
All right.
Difficulty is 9.
All right. I have +1, so that's good.
All right.
No, that's a 4.
All right. You see them sort of see you, and they start to head towards you. Just as he does, that's when you open the door, Magon.
Okay.
As you see these men come towards him, drawing short swords and heading towards Roshan. There's 3 of them who are doing it now, and everyone roll me initiative.
Okay.
So initiative is D12 plus your agility modifier.
Let's go. No whammies. Oh God.
What was that?
I got
Well,
a,
dude, you running low is good. Remember, because like you have dodge, so it might save you.
I got a 5 in total.
I'm gonna roll twice. 1 is 4, 5, 6, and 1 is shit. 1 is 5, 6, 7. So I'm on 6 and 7. What are you guys on?
8.
5.
8 for Magon, who is fast as fuck, boy. Roshan
5. Oh God.
and Farouk.
I believe also 5.
Oh wow, you guys are good. All right, Magon, you go first, then all the enemies go, and then the other 2.
So I'm guessing it's not usual to try shank death priests in the death temple.
It is 100% not usual, but you see one death priest on the floor, like he stabbed me in the dick.
So silhouetted in the temple door way, the huge hulking form silhouetted there, holding a glorious glorious halberd that has not been used in a great many years. There is a very deep growl. You do not respect the temple of death. And it's more like a declarative statement than a question. And then someone gets halberded very quickly.
That happens, and someone's gonna get fucking halberded. All right, so Dan, the problem at the moment is that they have a good amount of distance between you, but your movement is fucking 8, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. And then my weapon reaches like 4 meters. So.
All right, so you can just about reach one of them in order to get there. You normally need a half move to engage someone, but I'm gonna say your move is close enough to get you there, so you can, because your half move is 4, you got an extra 4 distance, so it's enough for you to engage your opponent in one hit. So go for it. Go for the attack on one of them.
So it's agility to hit with the weapon, and then it was added strength modifier for damage. So
for damage,
+1 from that, and then because I'm rank 2, like actual positive 2 with the polearm, is that plus another 2?
No. Every rank you have in the polearm, you get 1 after. I believe I put in modifiers in there. Let me double check.
So no, yeah, he has 3 ranks, so he has a +2.
Yeah.
Yeah, a +2.
Plus his dex is +3.
Yeah, my agility is 4, so that's +1 as well.
Yeah.
So it's +3 total.
Yeah, so +3 total.
And
but
I can
base
choose
difficulty
to make.
these guys is 7. So
Base difficulty of 7.
Yeah, you cannot choose to do any other move than your basic and get what's called attack, because you need a full action to do an all-out attack. You have to use half your movement to get there.
Yeah.
Okay. And I can't backstab. I'm joking.
No, you can't backstab, guys. Jesus.
Okay, I think I rolled a 7 again, but I can re-roll. Actually, I don't think it. Let me press the button. Okay, I got a 5 plus 3 for 8.
All right, so you come in and then you get on halberd and you swing for one of them. Roll damage.
You have to decide if it's damaging or piercing your weapon.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how are these guys armored?
Because of your exceptional roll, these guys are all wearing decent armor under their clothes. You can tell.
And they don't have like a... No, I can't make a cold shot, so I'm just going to hit.
No.
Is there like a roll of random chance to hit anywhere, or...
No, you always hit armor places unless you do a cold shot. There's none of this like, oh, I may have accidentally hit the leg. Oh, because nobody wants that. Nobody wants hit location dice, guys. No one.
Okay. I was just asking.
I do.
You do. Okay. I'll go for like an armor piercing sort of ram with the very tip of the spear, seeing as I'm like far range.
All right, let's see if we can impale this guy. Make the roll.
Make him bleed.
So a d12 for my damage. That's 7 plus. I think so. For every strength point above 3, I get an extra damage, don't I?
Yeah.
I believe that's how it works.
So
remember, this is my first time, so I'm also rusty. So I'm relying on you, Dan, because you're the best.
I believe that's how it works. You add your strength mod, and my mod should be +3, right, for being 3 above.
Yep.
Level 3.
So yeah.
That's 10 damage with an armor piercing of 1.
Describe how you impale him with your sword. He's dead.
Polearm.
Yeah. So I come in and growl that, and like the nearest guy to me, as I like lumber into this room, sort of half turns, and he turns into the point of the halberd, and it kind of just picks him off and lifts him off the floor, and then he's tossed aside. And there is just
chuck him on the ground. His friends are like, holy shit. All right. Next up will be me with the 2 guys. So, with the 2 guys there, you drawing a weapon and one them down. The guy on the floor who's holding his dick stays on the front. His friend comes over to him and seems to be tending to him, and that's what he's doing. His drunken friend is just watching over him and just being careful that he's alive.
Is he giving him an accidental hand job? Oh no!
Yeah, accidental. No, be careful, your penis. Oh, you seem like carefully. There's a little bow. You're not really paying attention. The other 2 split.
Sorry.
One goes for you, Dan, trying to move closer within your range. Takes a moment to engage you with his half move so he can go for the attack. The other one charges you, Censer. Now, because you guys have near weapons, normally I'd give you an attack opportunity to get a hit, but because he's spending his time to engage you, you don't have the opportunity because he's not just charging to attack. He's moving in closer to go for the stab for both of you.
Okay.
Like they're watching what they're doing. And that's the full action. They just move closer.
Okay. Half move, engage opponent, perform maneuver action. So he would now strike me, right?
No, he's not striking. He's just moved closer and he's like got his sword up.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't in half move distance. Okay. Hold on.
Well, something like that. You notice that he's put his sword up in defense.
Ah, okay. He's intending to parry.
All right. So guys, go.
Sure. So, or how is it? For what? You can start. Take away his parry so I can slam him.
Stab the guy in the dick.
Stab the guy in the dick.
Stab the guy in the dick.
Just go for you, like fuck yeah. Do it. Fucking roll. As you come in,
I believe that's called a sad ending.
Oh.
Got out.
All right.
All right. Did you make the roll or have you?
No. I was too busy making puns.
As you're coming towards him, you see he's holding his sword with like his hand on the palm, like he's ready for your attack.
Yeah. That's. Yeah. I rolled a 3 on the die.
Yeah, you come in trying to do something with it because like you're deaf divine by fight, so you don't give a shit. But you can't even get close to him. You get close and he just kicks you away like you're nothing. Next up, Henrik, aka Roshan.
And he moved directly next to me, correct?
Yeah, he's directly next to you. He's that close.
All right.
You get a +1 for Fuhad being there for your roll.
I'll just go for overhand bladed censer strike. Just
all right. So
simple.
All right, roll it.
That will be a D12. Come on. Reroll selected. That's an 11 plus 6. That is 17. I think that might hit.
All right, that's a hit. Roll damage.
1d6 then. Oh, no. 1d6 will be rolled. Reroll selected. 2 points of damage as I like hit him on the shoulder like
Take
this.
what you can get. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You smack him in the shoulder and you see him grunt from like the horrible serrated damage like you pierce within it. He wasn't expecting to go over his shoulder like that, so that was a bit odd for him. So he shrugs it off best he can. He's still standing. Magon.
So the guy looks like he's ready to parry me, or he's in a defensive stance.
He's in a defensive stance.
So the scene is one guy against me, one guy against the other two, and is the dick stabbed guy still on the ground?
Yeah, he's still on the ground. His other friend is looking over him.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are two of them that are sort of non-combatant at the moment. I am going to attempt to knock this guy down. So he's like ready for me to hit him, and I just like body slam him.
Like no more. Bam! I love it. Let's roll that shit.
So yeah,
right,
opposed
so-
strength rolls, and a creature of a different size adds +3 modifier to the roll for each size category different to the larger of the two, and I am large, so I get
Nice.
+3, and I get
Let's do
+3
it.
from strength, I guess. I got a +6.
All right. He gets +1 to the resist knockdown because he's in defensive stance, and he has to roll his strength, which isn't high. So he's just rolling pretty much a D12 +2. Let's see how he does. He is poop.
I got 12.
Okay,
Not
well,
close,
yeah, you got him.
Yeah.
Describe how you do it.
So he's like raised his sword ready for another strike from the halberd, and I see like his focus on the head of the halberd, and I move it out to one side, and he for a moment his concentration goes with it, and then my like huge mass just leaps forward quicker than he would expect, and slams into him, knocking him bodily across the temple.
All right, he actually slides along the prayer mats and like bumps his head a little bit. And it's like it's there. It's his turn. He's gonna spend it getting up and like basically like wiping the blood off his face from the smack you just gave him. And he looks a little bit scared. He'll spends this turn basically like fucking pine himself. And he pulls out basically from his side, he pulls out this nasty looking dagger, and then he like moves up. He steps a step forward, and he chucks it at you. Like he just chucks this dagger that straight at you, like fuck it, boom, just at your head.
Okay. Remember, if he's calling a shot at my head, he's at -3. But
oh, he's not calling a shot. He's just chucking. He's just chucking it like he's not focused. He doesn't know. He's just trying his best.
Okay.
Also, isn't your head a protection anyway?
I don't have a helmet because there isn't one to buy in the book. I have a big hefty chest piece and leather braces.
Well, okay. So, all right. So let me describe this scene properly. I'll come back to that later. Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, against you, Roshan, the guy that's next to you realizes that he's in a bit of trouble. This is no time to worry about that. So he like switches out of it. He like takes the knife and he tries to basically ram you through as he goes for an all-out attack.
Like a parry. I would go for a parry then.
You're going for a parry? All right. Oppose rolls.
Yeah. I get +6 -1, so +5. Do I get anything for wood? For wood? Well, no, nothing.
No,
Because
that's
it's like kind of
everything,
flanked.
everything you get.
Okay, just on attack, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Or is the dagger flying at you now? 'Cause you
No,
mixed the
another
magic.
person.
No, it's not.
Oh.
Another people.
All right.
Five.
He got 11.
You got 11.
Got 11.
Yeah, I got a 9. Yeah, a 9. Yeah.
All right. So he will do light damage with a short sword as he desperately. Hold on. Is there damage mod to this? There's no damage mod. Just a straight up all-out attack. He's dropped his defense value by quite a bit to do it, but it's worth a shot. And he attempts to stab you in the chest. So let's see how much damage he does to you. Boop, 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 boop. We roll. 6 points of damage to your chest.
Yeah. God damn it!
Yes.
I have some armor, a padded leather that softens the blow a bit, so it's just
And your
4
braces.
points.
Count both your No, it's you count all your armors together.
Oh, all right. So just 3 points of damage go through that. That's still annoying.
So you're good. You're still good. You're still good. You're great.
Yeah.
You're grand. All right. As he does this, the guy that was helping out desperately, his friend, sees what's going on and he runs for the door. He spends his turn just fleeing the scene as fast as he can go. As he moves out of the way, the dagger goes flying out and it stabs him in the back of the shin. And you hear him yelp as he hits the door and he limps out with the dagger still inside his leg.
If he's full on moving and I'm standing somewhere near the doorway with a reach weapon.
You're not standing in the doorway, remember? You moved closer.
A little bit. Okay. So who was
I
that guy
can't
who
give
just
you-
went? Okay.
Just a drunkard.
The drunkard guy who was helping his friend.
Yeah. The dick
right.
injury is no longer being supervised.
So that guy never pulled a weapon.
No.
Never was seen as a threat. Okay.
He's not pulling much these days.
All right. You can see already as you guys are standing there that the other two are not feeling that confident about themselves anymore. They're both like, "Oh shit, but it's gonna be great." Faroud, your turn.
So how many is left in the temple? 2, 3?
2 guys and 1 guy on the floor.
And they look like they're about to flee.
No, they look like they're a little bit in trouble, so they're considering fleeing.
Yeah, okay, so they're swithering. I don't actually want to kill this guy that's on the floor. I want to keep him. I want to find
The
out.
guy on the floor.
Yeah, I
He's
want to
like
find out.
tangled up in these prayer mats on the floor.
Yeah, there's 2 other guys though. There's one.
There was one that made an all-out attack on me, so you can like kind of
That's
slap
true.
him. Slap
Yeah,
him.
I'll go for one of the ones that are standing and not holding their crotch.
All right. That will be one of what's called the guy on the crutch is on the ground, by the way. He's like currently like still tangled up in the prayer mats. The one that's standing has a -3 to his mod because it's an all-out attack. So you only have to roll and beat a 75-4.
What? I need to be a 4.
Yeah, difficulty's 4 because it's an all-out attack. He went all the way and it didn't work for him.
Didn't beat a 4.
Can you beat a 4? Let's find out. Have you?
No, I have not.
Did you get a +1 because of me being there, right?
Yep.
So
Okay,
you got a
that makes 4 then. Yeah.
But you have to
Alright,
beat a
nice.
4.
Just about.
Or do you have to?
No, I think you have to just hit the number 4. Just to hit the number, not beat it.
Oh, you said beat. That's what I thought. Anyway, okay,
Not
cool.
bad. One question though, while you're on the subject, do you know you have a -3 because you have no sword, no skills in small blades, right? Did you count that?
Oh, I forgot to change that before the start of this session, didn't I? Yes,
Do you want to change it now?
No,
I'll give it
I
to you if you
haven't.
want.
I have been counting it. It's just. Yeah, no, I'm not going to change it now.
All right. So even though he's out of the fence, because you don't have a skill in small blades, you go for it, but he just about sees the blade coming and he kicks your hand away. Just. Roshan.
I did use my reaction, so I can't.
Yep.
Right?
No, you can still. No, you can still attack. Using
What?
a reaction does not mean you stop attacking. There's nothing that says you still don't have your normal action.
All right, then I'll slap him with my bladed censer, and I'm going to yeah, just going for a normal attack because it's going to be really easy. He made an all-out attack, so I can literally not miss except for a 1. So reroll selected. Let's go. That's an 8. So 8 plus 6 is more than 4.
Hits. Do damage.
Come on, D6, don't let me down. It's a 6.
Nice. He is still alive because his armor takes quite a bit of those damage for him.
All right.
I'm sorry, dude.
I should have made a cold shot. I forget that is a thing in this game. Sorry. I'll remember that.
Got to learn to ignore the armor, because like you've got to play a character over there who's got 5 armor. Like getting through that armor is gonna be fucking impossible.
Yeah.
All right, that was your turn down. Magon, the guy facing you is withering a little, but he's still there. You want some of that? Give him
still there in a threat.
Yep.
I guess I was going to go after the guy and stop the other guy from running away, but if he's got a dagger in his leg, I'm sure it won't be too hard to catch up with him.
Probably not.
So I'll aim to put this guy down, I guess. He's just thrown a dagger, so he's like unprepared. He's not defensive necessarily. Yeah, why not? I'll strike him. So I will. I'll do the same as last time with the +1 armor and go for like a skewering.
Do it. Let's see if you can do enough damage to take him out.
So that's a 9 on the dice to hit, plus, Yeah,
you do it. Roll damage.
And roll the damage. So, okay, that's 7 on the dice, plus 3 from the strength for 10, with a +1, with a piercing of 1.
Sorry, how much damage was that?
7.
It's 7 plus 3 for 10 with a piercing.
All right,
1.
yeah, fucking you kill this one as well, because like Jesus Christ, you're just doing enough damage to take them out in one go. I can't complain about that.
Because I've got the halberd in 2 hands.
That D12 damage is really useful.
I'm just rolling.
Plus you're strong as well.
Yes, strong as fuck.
Quick question.
Yeah.
What does superior do again? It's a +1 to attack rolls, or what does it do?
Superior is +1 to attack rolls.
Okay.
I believe you functioned that in. Did you have you not been counting that?
I haven't been counting that for the bladed censer, so I'll keep that in mind. Cool. Continue.
Yeah. So I as the dagger goes by me and into his friend, I suppose I follow that and I turn back like with this feral grin, and then just advance and like with practiced, though I suppose rusty technique, but maybe it all comes back to him. Just like step, wham! Just straight into his chest.
Oh man, it looks fucking perfect. He goes down like a sack of bricks.
I turn to the guy who's about to run. I just want to turn to the guy who's about to run away and go, "Don't."
I'll tell you what. I will. Oh wait, should I give you a free intimidation? Yeah, I'll give you a free intimidation check to try and make him stay, so he doesn't flee.
Cool. So
do you have?
Yes.
Is there coordinates still?
I've actually trained in intimidation and have a +1 due to being brawny, because I'm extra muscly, even for my large size.
Roll it. The difficulty is 9.
What kind of trait would we apply?
Something that gives me a lot of minuses, I imagine. Because intimidation can be strength.
There are 4 traits that you could.
There's 4 traits. Intimidation can be strength, so you're good. That's the good thing about this game. It gives you a list of things that one skill could be, so you don't have to use the worst.
So it's at
in this case, I use strength.
Is that a +4?
That is a no. That's you have a 1, and you most of your strength is that's
3.
+4.
+4. So I will. I think I rolled a 7 because I clicked the button. So that's +4 for 11.
All right. He stops his movement and he looks absolutely terrified. This turn he doesn't run, but he's intimidated. But he didn't get a 12, so I can't make him stop. He's terrified. He's not going to flee. So what he does is that he drops his weapon and he attempts to reach up to grab you, Roshan.
Oh no, I was telling the drunk not to run out the temple, not the.
Oh
not
no, the
last
guy,
fighter.
the guy on his leg. Oh, he's already gone. He ran out automatically.
Oh, okay. I didn't want
He's got full action to run. If you run, if you run, it's your movement times 4.
Okay. I thought he was still sort of in the thing. Okay, I didn't want him to
I'm sorry.
get away. It's okay. I can tell the other guy to don't and growl and affect him.
All right, cool. So on his turn, he reaches up to try and strangle you. Basically, he's gonna go for you to hold you down and keep you hostage. He's hoping that will save him. Oppose grapple checks.
What do I roll? Acrobatics?
No. With grapple, let me go triple check because I always have to triple check these things because that's how this game works. Because I ain't done my first time playing.
If you're running in combat, it's only double your movement.
Yeah.
Is it only double your movement?
Yeah, it's just twice movement rate during a combat round.
Well, I gave it to him anyway. It's too late now.
Okay.
Like, I love you, Dan, but like he was gonna get out of the building. He just spent his whole action just getting out.
I mean, acrobatics would make sense.
Not even close.
I don't want to use strength.
All right, it's an oppose. I'll give you agility to dodge.
All right, dodge is cool. I can work with dodge.
Oh no, wait, no. He has to make an attack mod, and then you roll opposed.
All right.
So let's see if he can actually get to you first, because an attack mod penalty before that. So he might not even get to reach you. He might just completely miss.
All right.
Reroll selected.
He's doing grapple, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has a 1 bonus, so that's an 8. So he will reach you. So now it's opposed.
Wait, I have a 10 armor class.
Wait, why is armor class 10?
7 plus agility. You add agility to your armor.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Not he's like, yeah, he goes, whoop, and he's like, nope, and he's out. He's just out of the way. There's nothing he can do. He cannot touch you.
The basic defense roll is always 7. Agility modifiers, defense skill, and other ability-based modifiers, as well as shields, adjust the defense value. So.
All right. Well, that shows me he doesn't touch you. You're all good.
Can't touch this.
It's your turn. It's your turn, Farad.
And me.
Is it not Farad first? Oh yeah, you're both at the same time.
I'm quite happy to if you want to go first, then, Rick.
I would go for a bladed censer attack. This time it's going to be a cold attack to his kind of like unprotected lower like foot to basically rip it open and make him bleed out or something like that.
I think make your roll -3 attack mod.
-3, but I have +7 in total, so I have +4 now.
All right, do it.
Let's do this. Oh God, it's not a 1. That's good. It's a 2. So 2 + 4 is 6. God,
so you just miss.
Yes.
Sorry. I feel your pain, but hey, on the plus side, we're kind of working the game system out. Like, you miss if you do a cold shot on a 2. That's really good. The only problem is that your damage isn't that high because your agility is so good. Whereas Magon doesn't have that high chance to hit, but when he hits, he kills you. Farouk.
I am not designed for combat whatsoever.
Yes.
Throw dirt in his face.
Yeah, I was just gonna go straight with a dagger, but yeah, I'm gonna miss.
Did you go for the roll?
Yeah, I did go for the roll. It's 3 with the minus modifier.
Yeah, that's not enough to get anywhere near him. His armor class is just too high. I apologize for that.
So you should.
All right, in that case, Magon, do you want to finish this off?
Well, this guy was one of the sober guys, right, of this group, so probably have more answers than the drunk guy on the floor.
Most likely, yeah.
So I'm going to attempt to come up behind the guy and grapple him with an arm, and just like end the fight, but with him still alive, so we can talk to him.
I think that's fair. Make the roll.
Okay, so So a combat can attempt to pin an opponent by successfully making an attack, a cold attack followed by an opposed strength roll. The attack is successful,
So
the victim
roll
is
of
held
-3
immobilized.
first.
Okay.
You have to do a cold attack to grapple him.
So it's really easy for me to knock him down, but not so much for me to grapple him.
Get your hands on
because
him.
grabbing someone is different than just slamming him in the face.
I do get +1 from my claws, so
That's pretty good. Just don't fail to roll.
Nope, I got a 1.
It's not a natural one.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. All right.
Roll.
Now that was for a grapple, so I don't know what.
So there is a critical mishap table in this game because fuck my life. Could you please roll a d12 so I can tell you what happens? Because we have to play the game to the full rules.
Unfortunately, it's Greco-Roman wrestling rules. You get a finger in the butt.
I don't remember that roll. Please roll a d12, please.
I did. I got 9.
Oh.
9. Distracted and confused by the turmoil of contact, the attacker immediately loses focus and suffers a -3 penalty to the next action.
Right.
So you go for the grab, he ducks underneath it, but you slip on the carpeting and you hit the ground. So you have to pull yourself back up. And because you're off balance, your next action is at a -3 penalty. On his turn, he's going to run. Now, all 3 of you have a chance to hit him. So go for the rolls if you want.
All right. Yeah, I will do so.
I will not let you do a directed, what's called a cold shot, because I think that might be a little bit too hard to do on a opportunity.
I would have liked to use my snare ability, but if not, okay, it's fine.
Actually, that's a good point. I'll let you use your snare ability to stop him from running. I don't see why not.
So, snare goes -2 on my attack, so instead of a 7, I have a 5, and I just have to roll a 2, or just not roll a 1. That's a 2, so it's an exact hit, so 7.
Exactly 7. So yeah, you got him. You catch him on the floor and he hit the ground.
Yeah, but basically,
you see him slam his face on the floor like that.
I assume restrict is basically I move the chain a couple of times around, start like that. Okay, and everyone else gets a slam if they want, but I don't.
It's up to you guys. You can stab him if you want.
No, not really. Thematically, I imagine the halberd is a bit like one of those half moon kind of blades, slightly more exotic. If I could put that down, pressed over him, so he could maybe across his neck, not into his neck, but I imagine I could put it against the floor and form a bit like a, I don't know.
All right, nice. That was our first combat. Congratulations. That wasn't too bad. Took us 30 minutes because we had to learn the rules, but hopefully next time we'll be a bit faster. We can further. I'm sure I've done a whole bunch of things wrong, but we're getting better at this, right, guys?
Correct.
Okay. Dan, you sound don't sound unconfident. It's cool. It'll work out.
Okay.
Basically, Roshan is going to kind of withdraw a bit and unfurl the shoulder pauldron where the blade slipped down and into her shoulder muscle, and is just going to inspect the wound, trying to clean it out, and put some bandages on, basically just to prevent any from anything from getting.
It looks rather painful, but nothing you can't just wash off and hopefully take out.
Yeah.
Let me double check.
I do have water skin, so I use a bit of the water to clean up and kind of.
I'll let you clean it up, and I'll let you recover 1 hit point back just for free.
Thank you.
That's cool. Because I think that you clean the wound should count as a healing up. It's not how healing works. Because healing is quite deadly in this game.
Yeah.
You patch it up and you do your best. What do the 2 of you do before I continue?
Just to point out, it is in a temple. There's got to be good healing in a temple of death. Sure.
You expect there to be healing?
There's a final healing solution.
Yeah. Well, no, Temple of Death isn't just about giving glorious and honorable death. It's also about prolonging life. so that they can have glorious and honourable death.
I think that's probably fair. But you need to spend some time to bandage it up. And just so you know, bandaging someone up, let me double check. Bandaging someone up only allows them to heal at the end of the day. So you can go get that thing done and bandage up. So at the end of the day, they heal that up.
Okay,
According
so
to the stamina store.
I will fix the I don't remember what was her name.
Tahagi.
To do
She
the honor.
comes out from behind the door and she looks around like, what's going on?
It's a dirty Thursday.
What's happening?
These are the things I explained to you about.
Oh my god, is that guy tied up? Is that a censer?
And
And like she looks at you, Roshan, and she like
Mm.
does a short prayer just quietly. Because like they respect your kind.
Questions. Healing is needed.
She comes up, of course, naturally, and she like runs back inside. She comes up with some bandages and she's happy to patch you up. But the guy was like face down planted and he looks like he's drowsy like that and he's spinning his head around.
Speaking of questions, priest, I think you should ask them why they wish to end your life.
Indeed. So we've got two of them? Is that
one.
right? One.
No, we've got two. There's
Oh,
one who
but-
stabbed in the dick, and then one that we took out.
But the one with the dig is drunk at the moment, so
Yeah.
He's like wrapped up in like a whole bunch of like floor mats and stuff like that. As you pick the other guy up and you sort of look at him, you can hear commotions going on outside, and the guy gets up and sort of like rubs his head and he looks at you and he squowers at you, and he sort of goes, "I know you're kind, Gurgan." That was to you, Dan, just so you know.
Gurgan. But maybe they don't get
Fuck
it right on
you pronounce it
purpose.
Gurgan because that's an offensive term for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy that we just took out.
yeah, the one that we restricted.
Yeah, he's still alive. You didn't kill him.
Yeah. But he's standing up. I wouldn't want him to stand up.
Oh, okay. In that case, you speak to him on the ground.
Yeah. I maybe put one very large booted foot on him or something. Goes, "Oh yeah, and I know my kind very well." And he like licks his lips.
I'm going to place my hand over the back of his head, and I'm going to start on an incantation of the death, the Ahmait Difin cult. I'm going to say Ahmait. Give me a moment to compose myself. Ahmait Lajiban Tabin Hadin Alroran.
Lloyd doesn't know what that means. You need to tell him.
It basically means death to a coward, condemn their soul.
Oh wow.
He's like, whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I can remove this curse.
No, you need to remove this. Okay, actually, make me an intimidation or deception or any kind of like, any kind of like, not streetwise. Do you have any kind of prayer skill? Streetwise. Streetwise.
Perhaps socialize.
Any kind of social skill that
However,
isn't social.
a manipulation species. Bit
Pardon
of negotiation going on here, because what I was going to say is I can remove this curse if you answer the questions. Otherwise, your soul is condemned.
Excellent. Difficulty is only 5 because there is 100% every reason to believe you. Like that's down, but you have to still make the roll.
Oh, fuck me sideways.
Thank you. I try.
So it's a
Roll the 4
manipulation.
in the die.
Oh, that's not good.
What'd you get?
4 in the die.
4 on the die. Difficulty was 5. What was your
Yep.
bonus?
What is the bonus to that? I don't.
You have a
actually-
minus
what-
3 because you don't have the skill, but maybe your bonus is high enough that will counteract it.
No.
So
What is the bonus to talents?
It's either +1
it'll probably be
manipulation
presence
or
or manipulation. So
Yeah,
plus.
+1.
What's suspicious and
yeah.
inspiring stuff? Do
Plus,
Oh, yeah, what's
species? Species is a +1. but I don't know what the ranks and the traits.
Anything about like every number above 3 is another rank up, another plus
Yeah,
1.
and your modifiers are already there. I've put them in for you in the character builder. So you already have a +1. Space is another +1, that's 2. -3 because you don't have the skill. So you just failed. Just.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, bro. It was a good goal, but you have to have some kind of skill boost you can do something, and all your skills aren't based on that specific length. So he looks at you and he looks terrified. Then he starts to like laugh a little bit. And he starts to laugh more. He like bursts out laughing. And then he starts to choke because your foot is on his neck, Mahan. It's like, and he's like, say what you will, priest. My soul is already blessed. Upon the actions of mine, I shall never. Upon the action? Oh, let me phrase this right. Upon the actions that I take, my soul will always be saved upon that of the thing. Your curse has no power here. No power. And it won't be long now. And as he says it won't be long now, the door opens up. And you can see a torrent of people are coming in. Quite a few people. Must be in Leah's congregation. Amongst them walking in, two of you recognize one, the header one. Ishmael walks in to join them, who is a Gurgan as well, just like you are, Dan. But you also know him because he works amongst basically the city watch that keeps an eye out over the area. And he sort of comes in and goes, I heard there was a commotion going, and looks around a little bit. And he spots you, Magon, and his eyes narrow a little, but he stays quiet. And then he walks into the room and goes, what's going on? Who is this man? Why have you tied him up?
Let me introduce myself to you. I am one of the bladed censors of the Esfahani family. I was instructed to protect and escort this venerable member of the Ahmait Difin cult. And these people tried to end his life before the contract was completed, and I had to intervene. This man is currently being restricted to reveal more information on this attempt on my contract. I was full in my rights to defend my quarry and restrict this criminal.
He looks at you and he narrows his eyes. You can tell he does not like your kind in one shape or form whatsoever. But he looks over at Magon, and then he says nothing. He goes, I humbly respect your decision in keeping your charge safe. I suppose this is all your work? After all, randomly murdering people without the permission upon the houses is a crime. He says, specifically looking at Magon.
These are all my prey. And I acted within right of the Esfahani family.
And he looks at you and he nods. And he goes, that makes sense. And he starts to look at the bodies. And his men are like walking in behind. And he's like, gentlemen, take care of it. And they all start basically moving in to come and get the people. And they look down at the guy you're tying up because, is that your prisoner?
Yes.
He's yours. Do what you will. I hope the bankers are happy with the action they've taken. They start to move in. One of them goes towards the clothed person wrapped up in the blankets and stuff like that. And he stops and goes, is that one of yours as well?
He hasn't been ended, but he wields no information that we require.
The man standing over him goes, I don't think that's true, mate. As he leans over, he unwraps the cloths over, and you can see the man underneath is dead.
Well.
There is a rope, a horrible chain running around his neck, tightened up with a long, stronger, hard bit, keeping it up. He's been strangled with a censer.
Dun, dun, dun.
He looks over and he squints down at him and he's like, looks back at you.
That is not my censer. As you well know, each censer has a personalized weapon with its crest inscribed on it. And
he reaches down and he pulls it up and he goes, this is Esfahani's crest, what's called symbol. Is that not the same on yours?
Yes. As you well know, The executioners wield one blade, as it is holy to them. I have one blade here restricting one person. This is another blade, not pertaining to my person.
And he looks at you down and he goes, that does make sense. Then he leans on over and then he cocks his head. And then he looks at the guards and goes, guards, secure the doors.
No. All this time I've been slowly sidling towards the door.
You're like... All right, there's no way you are going to make this stealth check to avoid his eyes. I want to see you try.
I have level 0 in stealth.
Good.
So it's not a -3.
Starts at 11 because he literally came in and was like, and he's just watching you this whole time. Like, there is no way I'm making this easy.
I have +1.
Go, boy.
Woo! Nope.
Nope.
Like a 4. So I wasn't like trying the hardest, but I was just sidling towards the door.
As he looks down, he starts towards the door. He starts to move. You're like, do, and he just goes, and you stop. And then he looks down. You go, nope. And he's like red light, green light, as he moves towards the door. I wait for he's like, open the door. And he moves them all over. And he looks down and he smiles. And he stretches out like he cocks his neck in a really awkward, kind of really strange way. And he goes, are you saying that all of these kills are yours, but this one?
I am saying that, yes, that person I did not kill, and that censer belongs not to me, but to another executioner, I must assume.
Maza Esfahani only has one censer, and that is yours. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to come with me. And he has a big smile on his face.
As long as you can ensure that my quarry is secured, I will follow your demands.
Pardon me, but who are you to come into a temple of the Difin and proclaim any right over death whatsoever?
He looks down at you as he speaks, and he cocks his neck over, and he goes, I am Hassan. I am a gentleman of the watch? No, that doesn't make any sense, Lloyd. What the fuck were you going in that statement? I am captain of the watch that protects the city, and everywhere is my charge. I understand if you wish to make a complaint, but you can do so at the office, because everyone here is coming with me.
She basically goes to the one that it was restricted and takes back her censer.
Mm-hmm. And the guy that's restricted has a big smile on his face.
She goes, I will remain armed as I am currently fulfilling a contract for the Esfahani family.
He turns towards you and goes, that will not be happening. As far as I'm concerned, the body in front of me is Jahal Esfahani, the next heir to the Esfahani name. As such, I cannot have you wield your weapon. And he has a big, he's super excited to say this.
Well, then you must look forward to the Esfahani family suing you for breaking contract. But that is your choice.
He looks over and goes, feel free. And he puts out his hand to accept your weapon.
I'll give him the censer with great reluctance, but he's currently outnumbering me.
He smiles and moves up. Before I continue, Roshan, you have definitely served amongst the family of Esfahani. You do not know this man. You have no idea what this man is. This must be a mistaken identity. He definitely is not the man to say. There's no, at least you look at his face and you don't see the man that you recognize in any shape or form whatsoever. Never seen him before. And he insists that you all come with him. Are you all going to go?
Can I make some kind of insight or something like that on this whole thing?
I will let you make me not an observation, not an insight. You need a clue, don't you?
Just like a base of socialize.
I'm looking at the skills right now. Give me a second. Ow, my leg itches. Ow, ow. That really itches bad. Okay, there we go. There's the skills. I will make you someone can make me a common law check. Difficulty is 7.
When you got at those priest?
For what? You have common law at skill rank 1.
How do you know my character sheet better than I do?
Because you have it all in the character keeper, dude.
Yes, I do have common law. Yes.
So
I said my. See this. Why can't I roll real dice, Lloyd?
Fine. You know what? You can roll real dice. Roll real dice checks.
I got a 3 on that.
You got a 3 anyway. See, there we go.
No, he got a 3 on his digital dice, I think.
Okay, fine. Roll your physical dice and see what you get.
All right. I'll roll a physical dice.
Well, I hope you can roll so bad, so fucking bad.
Like a 1.
Hold on, let me find a D12. That was a 6.
Nice.
Okay, with your +1, that is a 7, which is a success.
See.
Fucking goddamn it! You take the moment when everyone is talking amongst each other and they're taking them away. Something else comes into your mind that you sort of remember. You know that when it comes to families and things like this, where cases are disputed, they're usually headed up and finished by the person that's in charge of the censor. However, it doesn't matter what happens in the end. If the censor's charge, aka if the Esfahani family go, yes, he is not guilty, the case will be dropped instantly. If they go, yes, they are guilty, they're in trouble. Something about this case stinks. Why on earth is one of the Esfahanis here? Why were they bothering you? And why are they dead of a censor? Something doesn't add up and you don't like it. Anyway, shall we continue to the police station? Or the police station pretty much?
Guardhouse.
Blood along.
Guardhouse. Shall we? Everyone okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the family that hired Roshan?
Esfahani.
They are the Estefanis, okay.
Yes, so they're saying that she killed the next heir to the family, but she doesn't recognize the body.
I just want you to double check that they had that right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys all arrive at the guardhouse. They're going to place you in what counts as a cell. If you guys don't make any kind of statements, they put you all together, as they do, because it makes my life a lot easier. And Hassan sort of looks over and he crosses his hands and he goes, "Don't worry, it will not take long. I shall go speak to the Esfahani family, and then we shall clear up all of your problems, I'm sure, if I'm not mistaken." And then he leaves you to your own business.
As a side note, I have been keeping a very close eye to my censor, like while we were going back. Did he put it somewhere? Just
make an observation check. Difficulty 5.
Yeah. Okay. That observation. I have plus rank 2, so +1, and it is awareness. Awareness is a 0, so just a straight up roll with a +1. Reroll. Come on. Reroll.
Sometimes works better if you press the button.
Yeah, I'm using the button by now. 5 + 1 is a 6.
You cannot see where he's put that thing. It must be somewhere in the building.
You said.
Yeah, you saw that. My bad. Oh, silly me. Yeah, you definitely see him. He comes in and he hangs it up. Like he comes in, you see him like has like a small desk office next to maybe 2 other guys. You recognize that the other 2 are human in the guardhouse, and it's just him. There's 3 guards, and he hangs up his chain, the chain next to his desk. And he's in there. And he takes you guys to the upper floor where the cells are kept.
Right.
And he basically puts you all three of you in one. And he sort of stops as about to, and he takes all your weapons off you, including your throwing knives and your halberd and your dagger for stabbing people with.
Are you sure? Does he?
Yes,
all
he
of them?
definitely takes your. If you want to hide one of your weapons, please make me a stealth check.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to hide my stuff.
Can't take
I'll
the
give it to
crutch stabber. Not the crutch stabber.
He has to definitely take the crutch stabber.
I rolled a 9 plus 5. That is 14.
All right, you can keep one of your thrown weapons hidden in your palm as you.
I would prefer the normal dagger to be hidden. It's like basically between my shoulder blades, in like kind of like a suspended position. So yeah, it's not seen anywhere.
I'll give it to you.
I would like to.
Oh.
You go, Chicks.
I was just the dagger was stabbed in between his shoulder blades on the way in.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, the butler did it.
I will elect to retract my claws before they get taken away from me.
I don't think they can take your claws, dude.
They're hiding. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, they let you guys into the building, into the townhouse jail, and it closes it down. That's about it. What would you guys like to do?
Spend the night in the drunk tank.
Not for the first time.
This smells fishy.
Does it ever grow like quiet? Do they office hours end and they go home? Does over the hours?
Not just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I would wait till the office hours end and then do stuff.
About 2 hours later or so, it doesn't take long for the what you would call the vizier of the Esfahani family, the lawyer of the area, sort of comes up, Javad, and he comes up, and you hear him speaking down the stairs the best he can with the officers, and they're exchanging words and they're being quiet and they're doing all these other stuff and things. And
we try over here what they're saying.
Ooh, how good is your hearing? Do you have like super hearing?
No, I only bought the one sense, which is smell.
Yeah, sorry, dude.
You can't tell if they're guilty or if they're conspiring.
Can he smell the sound waves?
No, but
we can't smell the sound waves.
If they're being like sneaky, they're like adrenaline might be spiked or something. If I might be able to get an impression of what these animals are doing.
Dan, I'm not gonna give you that. I'm sorry. I think that's really good. I will give you, however, an observation test.
Oh,
but you'll need to find a way to make it viable because currently you cannot hear them. If you found a way to get sound through to hear them, I'll give you an observation test.
Using my wood whittling and claws, am I able to cut some sort of small hole through the floor and into the...
What, gonna go and try to just listen through a hole?
Yeah, just try and
stone, but
is it a stone?
Why not?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you do it. I'll blunt one of your claws for a while, but I'll let you do it to get in.
Okay.
Deal?
So I just just scrape a little hole away in the corner of the room or something.
Do you three want to say anything to each other before I continue? Because you've all just been quiet this whole time.
I just want to do a soliloquy about Ahmait Difin.
I would I would probably talk with the carpenter. I'm sorry. I never thought of you as a warrior. You were always around, creating those wonderful little wooden things. I'm grateful that you came in and helped us there. It was a numerical disadvantage I was in, but how have I deserved that? I'm just wondering.
I smelled what those men were up to. Something about the way they moved. They had plans for the temple, the priest, for you. Can't really see that kind of injustice go unanswered for. We Gurgan stick close. Not many people fight for us. But it's a hard instinct to shake.
Well, yeah, I'm very grateful for you to have helped two total strangers then.
Well, I feel that both of you deserve some respect. More than you're being given. Something is working against you.
Yes, it
as a
does seem.
priest.
Yes, there seems something to be building. This is not how the contract should. It was supposed to be just a normal escort task. This is all wrong.
The seeker of my own death should not be seeking others. There is other things afoot here, and I do not believe it is an attack upon the temple as such, rather than a usurping of it.
Well, I wonder what they believe in. That man that we kept seemed quite fanatical.
Indeed.
As you guys are there, you can already hear on the other side of the cells. You can hear like Tahagi and Arif are sort of like getting a little bit acquainted with each other and getting a little bit annoyed and hoping this will all be cleared out as soon as possible as they sit there. The third cell on the other side, you can hear that guy just like frowning and like muttering to himself, the man that you captured. As you are sitting there, you dig the hole through. Make me an observation.
Can anyone make it, or just me?
I'll tell you what, you can have anyone make it. One of you make an observation.
Just someone else might be better at it. I can do it, but
I have +1 in observation.
better than me. I just don't have negatives. So
Difficulty is base 7.
I got a 2 on the die, so I guess all I can hear is someone in the corner making armpit fart noises.
No.
Oh, I rolled a 10 +1 is 11, so I think I succeed.
All right. I was gonna just say, all you guys roll. Everyone can get a person a +1 bonus, but you know that works too. You can all just roll once. Fuck it. I don't like people rolling all together because I feel like that makes things odd, especially for stealth. But it's fine. We'll work it out.
I haven't rolled.
No, you don't need to.
I know. Just saying.
Oh yeah, true. I still love you though.
Good.
So as you sit upon the area and like the constant bearing of heat from below starts to come up to you, you start to hear what Javad is saying at below. He's speaking to Hassan, the what's called captain, and he goes, "Well, I hope this has settled any problems for you." And he goes, "Yes, it has, and I don't like any of it." Then they start to talk a little bit more, and then Javad goes, "As far as we are concerned, this death erases Roshan from the family name. You are to do with her as you see fit, and we consider this a slight upon the family. Please have her executed by the end of the day." And he looks over and you hear the guard go, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yes. As such, we are completely embarrassed about what happened. Oh, and feel free to have anyone else involved in that murder too. Preferably her first. I know not of this priest, but I'm sure we can find him someone else to pray for him. And I'm unsure about the death priest that existed in the temple, but some compensation would do. Free the man who was wrongingly imprisoned, and ensure that Roshan no longer lives to see the morning. Are we clear?" And you hear the growl underneath Hassan's voice as he goes, "Crystal." And he goes, "Excellent. I unfortunately have no time to stay to say goodbye to the failed censor, but that is your business, not mine. Good day." And you hear him walk off to leave.
All right, I as I hear that, I just move away. I'm probably already halfway through that conversation as I picked up that I'm going to get executed and they're blaming me for something. So I'll relay that information to the rest of the group. And then I would basically, out of my long raven black hair, I'll get out like a small kind of like hair wire, which is called. And I would like to use larceny to open that door.
All right. So here comes the problem. Larceny will be nice and simple and easy, but are you going to wait for the right time? Or are you going to do it right now?
No, I assume he's going to get up and gloat, but I would basically take it out and then like prepare it, kind of like work on it, but not use it.
Okay, make me a larceny roll. Let's start the roll up now because we'll say it's something that might possibly take some time to do.
Yeah. All right. Please don't.
What are the other two doing?
I kind of might want to make a check just to see. It's not very it will come after this. But I really wanted to make a check just to lift the whole, like, just use my strength to lift the entire cage like door off its hinges.
And throw the cage off. You're like, we're out.
Yeah, basically.
Unfortunately, I can't give you that because Hassan himself is a Gurgan. A Gurgan. He also is one of your kind. He knows to put you in a cell that will actually hold you, not one that can just like. What? Okay. So I can't give you that.
I rolled a 4 and I get a +4 due to agility and ranks, so it's an 8.
All right, so you start to pick the lock. You reckon a bit more time, you can just about get it.
Yeah,
at this point.
I kind of like I basically set it up, check how the lock is working, and then put it back so to wait for the opportune moment, so that as soon as I see that moment, I can like open it without a problem, like within a very short span of time, like not trying to like crack it now, but like preparing this kind of process. If that makes any sense to you?
It makes perfect sense to me. At some point when you're ready, you can make a second roll. Difficulty will be 5, and it'll just pop open.
All right. Cool.
So you hear Hassan coming up the stairs and he sounds exhausted and stuff like that. And he comes to your cell and then he reaches to it and he slowly unlocks it. And then he pulls it open and he goes, Magon, with me.
I look back to the other two for a moment and then look to him. Like, it wasn't. Do I get any sense from him, like aggressive, or like was it more that he's like trying to help me out, or
his tone is aggressive, but you're unsure what his motivations are.
Okay. I'm going to step outside then with him.
All right. He closes the cell and he moves you a little bit away. You can hear as Arif is going, "What about me? Free me." He's like, "Wait your turn, priest." And he looks over at you and he goes, "What is going
on?" As far as I know, like in this setting, like Gurgans, like I said, like Gurgans look out for each other, and part of the pack kind of thing. Well, he says, I'm starting to go about my work near the temple when this pack of men, 5.
He leans in closer and he goes, "You know what I'm talking about. What is going on? Why are you, of all people, involved in the Esfahani?"
Well,
remember that there was that big fight that you had, and you used to serve the Buragazi.
Yeah.
And he knows this. That's why he's like, "Why are you with a censor for the Esfahani who are responsible for the death of Buragazi?"
Okay.
That's what he's asking you. That's why he's like, "What the hell?" Because you'd recognize an Esfahani before you got involved.
Okay. So, like, the Buragazi were good to Gurgan people, and he's wondering, okay.
He thinks you betrayed him.
Right. I'm going to say the whole pack is strong. So, he would say the Buragazi fell, but not entirely.
Before you continue, are you sure you want to divulge the secrets?
I don't. He's not. The thing is that I'm not very smart, not very personable.
He just kept the secret because nobody asked him about it.
No one asked.
No one talks to the
The
wolf
minute you
man.
reveal that secret, it becomes something people will possibly find out about.
Oh, okay. I'll just say the men attacked the temple, and that's not right.
So you
went to
helped
defend the priest.
Esfahani, executioner of all people?
I
They are the
didn't.
reason why we exist like we do today.
I'm going to say I didn't know that. I didn't know. I went to save the priest, is what he's going to say. Like you shouldn't kill a priest in his own temple.
Who cares about anything about death cults and priests? I understand we all say our prayers to Difin in the time that come and pass, but this is not the time for that. Do you know what kind of trouble you're in? Do you understand what's happening?
No.
Look,
Something about the girl having done wrong.
the Esfahani family are completely removing all ties with her. She is not allowed in any shape or form whatsoever to go anywhere near them, and they're ordering her execution tonight.
What's she done? What are they up to?
Murder of Jahal, the next in line. I don't know. I don't care. I have never liked the Esfahani, so you know what? Killing their own kind is their own business, but I will not have one of my own be involved. Now, all you have to do is go down those stairs and never speak of this again.
Oh, God.
You can take your stupid priest with you too.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's it, folks.
Okay, guys, and then please, and then you.
Okay. I am in. He's not. He's not that smart, but in a moment of fiendish cunning for him, he is going to suggest. What if they're scared of her? What if they've created a weapon they can't control, and that she could help us bring down that house?
I will not go against Esfahani family again. We failed the last time, and we paid for it with our lives and the lives of our charges. I have kept my head down as a god and worked my way up the ranks despite all my problems. So one day I can finally walk into the Esfahani house and blame them for the death of everyone I loved and everyone I served. I will not have you jeopardize this for some girl.
What are they going to do with her? Can you not just have her gone, and then she deals with it, and you have no ties?
You see him like rub his head, and he's like, "Oh, this is so stupid." Make me a persuasion roll. Is there a persuasion skill? I don't know.
There is a socialized skill.
Make me a socialize. That's so weird.
I have neither the skill nor the stats for this. So
all right, make the roll. The difficulty is only 5 because he is totally with you.
I literally have to roll like double that to achieve this.
So -5. You have to roll a 10.
I rolled quite well. I rolled an 8, but it's not enough.
But it's not enough. That's what makes this so good. That's what I like about this game. When you're bad at something, you are bad at something. Like straight up, you suck. He looks at you and he lowers his eyes and he goes, I will not ask you again. Either you walk down these stairs with me and we never speak of this matter again, or I will lock you back up in that cell.
Okay. It occurs to him that he's watched her like pick that lock, and he's also watched her grow up and that she can handle herself. So maybe by getting, the aged priest and himself out of there, it might actually make it easier for her. So he relents and nods and goes, I will take the priest.
He nods. And he goes up to the cell and he opens it up and he goes, what do you call death priests? What's the holy term? Your deadliness? Your passing?
You're passing.
You're passing.
I don't know what to say.
Venerable?
Venerably deceased. Fuck it, it's your passing now. You're passing? Please.
You're please don't stab me in the dick.
Please don't stab me in the dick, priest. You fucking weirdo. Please, sir, come with me. And he closes the door and he keeps it locked. And he calls you one and you start to follow down the stairs. As you come down the stairs, he starts talking to both of you. And he's like, listen, all I need you to do is... Oh, no, he also frees the other two priests. I just realized. Make sure I get that sorted out. He also frees the other two priests and he escorts you guys down the stairs. And he starts to go down. He goes, as you know, we have to... What's going on? He looks at you specifically, Mahon. He goes, you have to keep this to yourself. You have to ensure that everything is quiet. And you never speak of this to any... Then he stops and he sniffs the air. At the same time, you also sniff the air. Mahon. There's a strong smell of iron.
Like blood.
Like blood. You take a step down the stairs and then you look around. The two other guards that are there are both lying up with their heads up and their throats slit.
And there's no sign of the attackers, I'm guessing.
There is no sign of the attackers. The lights of the entire area start to dim even more.
I growl in, like, Gurgan speech or whatever to him. This is not the justice you seek, brother.
He turns toward you to say something before three throwing daggers embed themselves in his neck.
No!
And it grabs on, and he's like, the blood starts to spurt out.
Do I hear any commotion from upstairs?
You hear, oh! The lights start to dim where you are. What do you guys do?
I would send the priest to go unlock the door, but it would take him so long.
I'm getting there.
I growl up to Roshan, free yourself.
Roshan, you can free yourself like that.
All right, cool.
And where are the weapons? Are they still there?
They're downstairs.
Okay. I look to the priest. So we're like on the stairs, and the room is in front of us, growing in darker and darker with bloody corpses.
Darker and darker as you move on. And as it grows darker, he's still bleeding from the three throwing daggers in his neck.
Is that alive?
Is he still? Yeah. Is he not?
He's not. He didn't just fall over like dead. He's got the daggers in him, and he's holding on to them, and he's bleeding. He's a tough motherfucker.
Good. I growl at the priests, like, tend to him, and then I want to, like, dash over the room and grab the weapons and try not get killed by ensuing darkness.
I think that's a pretty decent move. Let's see if you can actually pull it off. Getting there and back is not the problem. The problem is, can you get there, grab the items, and get back without getting horribly murdered? Make me an athletics test, difficulty 9.
Okay.
I will give you a +2 for your incredible speed.
Yay. So I have no negatives, and
I will, however, not let you use strength for the roll. This will have to be agility.
Okay, so I've got a +3 in total.
Just roll 9. Problem solved.
Roll them dice. I got 11. So...
Oh, you motherfucker! All right. You leap on and you get to the area. With an 11, you can grab one of the items before the other one is taken from you. You have a choice. You have your halberds, you have the other throwing knives, you have the daggers or whatever is left over, and yeah, that's it. Those are 3 items. And the censer. And the censer.
The thing is that I'm like, the halberd is my halberd, but but the censer is the censer. Like, I got 11 on the dice, so it's technically 14. Can I not get the censer in the halberd?
No, next up.
Can you like take the halberd and like loop the censer around the halberd while running
I'll
back?
tell you what. You can take both weapons, but I will get an attack on you. Deal?
Okay, yes. I like, because Henrik won't let me live if I don't have that censer, and also we need the censer of the house to kill them.
You asshole! I made that statement and now I regret it. Okay.
because you poetically you have to kill the head of the house with your censer now, but
I
I
know.
also want my help. So I'll take a hit. Bear in mind, if I was running, I do. If
Dude,
it's a ranged attack, they're at minus.
No. Dude, no, they got you.
No.
They got you.
They rolled
Oh.
8.
Good. Yeah, they rolled 8.
But you have like a 5 armor thing.
On the plus side, you only take 6 points of damage, and your armor does count.
So 1 damage.
Point.
Yeah, 1 point of damage. The dagger comes flying out, and it sticks to like the top of your neck, like right there, and it nicks you a little. There's a really weird pus that comes down it, but you're good.
Oh no!
Can
Can I quickly get rid of it before?
Yeah, you can throw it down like, but you get upstairs.
Okay.
So you're all good.
Give me.
Let's cut to. Sorry, before I continue, let's cut to. Okay. Let's cut to Faroud. Faroud, you have got this giant man in your hands, and Asif and Tahani are like, "What do we do?"
I fucking
heal him.
Yeah, I have no medical knowledge whatsoever.
But you can instruct others to heal them.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to say, Tahini, you know what you're doing.
All right, so Tahini like pulls him up, and she like starts to take the things out. You can see this really weird green pus on his neck, and she's like, and she's not sure, and she's like trying her best. And Arif is like, "What's going on? What's happening? I don't understand this at all. Why are we here? It's all your fault." And he points towards you, Faroud.
I'll just turn around and say, Yati Ahmait. Death comes.
And he looks towards you, he looks down towards the shadows and goes, "Yes, but I haven't dreamt my time yet. It's not time for me. I refuse to die here. Why should you be the only one that gets to figure out when you can place yourself and I cannot?" He sounds pissed off. You can tell us a bit of underlying anger from that statement. That's right there.
Yeah, I'm simply going to ignore it. And if possible, I don't know if I can aid Tahini in her.
Yeah, you give her +1 to check her roll, and she's like sort of careful. She's like, I can't do anything. It's getting darker. I can't see well. Something's wrong with this wound.
When I get back
to the breathing higher, you get back to the stairs. The darkness is increasing and flowing up as high as it can go around you.
I will pick up Hassan and like chivvy all of the priests up the stairs while I'm carrying him, and we try reunite with Roshan at a higher floor, and then we'll be.
You get there easily because you've already made a check within the darkness itself to get away from it, so you're good.
Okay. I'm shouting to Roshan as we're like going up the stairs. They're at the front. Find us another way out.
Sure. Observation, I guess. I'll try to
locate. Make it roll. Difficulty because the darkness is settling in and you are unsure as to where this is. Difficulty is 9.
9. I get a +1.
Are there not some windows about?
Yes, they are, but like you have to know which window to jump out of. Some of them might lead to a horrible cliff.
I rolled a natural 12.
All right. Describe the exit.
So basically, there aren't it is a prison, so there are no convenient exits like a stair or something. But there are very large windows in the back where you have some nice curtains next to them, which seem to be very sturdily affixed to them. So basically, I'll use my shoulder blade dagger to cut one of these curtains off to make a double curtain that would basically lead downwards from this window. And with that kind of rope, you can get down without shattering your feet.
All right, I'll give it to you. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, you can just slide down dramatically.
Yeah.
All right, I'll wait for checks to come back before I continue. How are you guys doing so far? Everyone on for time?
Yeah, I'm good.
I got my censer back.
See, told you I get it back for you. It's like, Dan, pick one. That was the first part. I'll wait for checks to come back when she comes back. I think you just popped to the bathroom. Because actually, I can describe the next scene. All right. As you were there, you feel the darkness start to come up from the stairs. towards where you guys are. From the cell of the man that was there, you start to hear him panic, and you start to hear him scream, almost out of fear of the darkness that's within it. You see him like his voice starts to raise higher and higher, and he starts screaming in him, Kavma, 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 Kavma. He's just saying over and over and over and over and over again, like he hasn't stopped. At one point, the scream stops, so they just cut out suddenly, and you hear gurgling noises.
I'll slide down the exit.
All right, who are you gonna go first?
Yes.
No,
I'll get my censer, and then we'll send down the priest first, I guess.
All right, checks. So, where we found this.
Who was shouting Kalvma?
The prisoner, you guys, the guy you took prisoner. Remember the guy you took?
The assassin thing.
Oh, he's still in the prison.
Yeah, but he's dead now or something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's gurgling.
I did describe him being there, right, guys?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I did not miss that, because you may have wanted to talk to him or something else.
I'm just putting. So I just wanted to put down the note for Kalvma because I presume that might come up later when the shadows.
Nah, it's probably irrelevant. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Who's gonna go first?
I mean, I can go first, or the priest can go first. Like he wants to die here anyway, so.
What are we going first into? That's what I would like to know.
What we've done have retreated up the stairs with my friend, and we're trying to find an alternative exit because people get throwing daggers thrown at them from the front of the building. So we're trying to get out alternatively.
There's a large window with two curtains knotted to each other that leads down into a back alley.
Right. So we're not going into a cistern or anything. Okay. No. Yeah. I'm happy to go down first.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. There's no difficulty for the roll because we rolled an exceptional roll. So the first person going downstairs. Who's next?
As my quarry is downstairs. Oh wait, I have been disbanded of that. Okay. Oh.
No, you haven't. That's still your quarry.
Yeah, but I've heard that they've cut ties to me.
Only from Javad, not from Censer Esfahani.
Right. Okay. So I'll go second to stay with him.
Yeah. Under the eyes of the death god, you're my bitch.
I would rephrase that, but sure. You're going to die.
I'll stick with it for now, but you watch yourself. I'll have to kill you later. So who goes next?
I let the other priests go down first, so I'm guarding against any form of attack that comes.
All right, so who are the last three people left behind?
I think Hassan.
Yes, me and my injured friend and whichever priest. I presume the thing is, I presume we want the girl priest to go first, but I imagine the angry boss guy, Fatih, probably pushes in front of her.
He pushes out the way and he goes next because he's.
I thought so. So it's probably me, my injured friend, and the girl.
All right, from within the shadows, you can see something moving slowly, making its way towards you, moving on back. At the same time, something starts to run through your system and it starts to weaken you. You don't feel your senses are as good as they used to be. Everything seems to be a bit of a blur. You're unsure as to what exactly the problem is. Make me a stamina roll. No difficulty.
No difficulty. Okay.
No, no penalty.
No penalty.
It's not skill. It's just your normal stamina to see if you can handle this.
So I have +2, and I also have the high pain threshold, which is +1 to resist. +1 to resist. I'm not sure if that'll come into effect.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Put it in there. Give us a +1.
So +3.
Difficulty 7. Just go for it.
I rolled 7. That's 10.
All right. You can feel the poison is working through you and you're drowsy, but you're able to keep your foot up.
Okay, good.
Who goes next?
Down the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Send to Honey. I look to this tiny woman while I'm holding this huge wolf guy.
Go!
Yeah.
At this point, roll me initiative.
at the top of the
Who
rope.
rolled all these purple dice?
Yeah.
Not me. Sorry. I'm deleting them at the moment.
Initiative. Oh, every time you delete one, it deselects my dice, so I can't roll initiative.
God
No.
damn it! Why did you do that?
I got 10.
It's not from you.
Reroll selected. I rolled a 2.
I got 10. I got 10.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Oh,
Ooh.
what?
From
Okay.
the shadows, 2 blades merge, one from the left, one from the right. You can make out a form in the darkness that you can barely see. One comes up straight for you to try and basically gut you on the left, and another one comes from the top trying to gut you from the right.
Okay.
I shall now roll both dice.
Are they
First
moving
roll.
to engage and such? Because remember, my weapon has reach, and I might be able to
Yeah,
select them.
but it's dark, and you
Oh.
can't tell them out from the darkness.
I can't smell them. Do they have a smell?
No, they don't.
Oh no!
I know, right? Weird.
Spooky.
I'm sorry. I'm so scared right now. They come at you in unison. It's fucking beautiful. I gotta wait for all this fucking dice to clear because somebody rolled them all. How did you even do this?
Magic.
I think he just put like 6,000 in the D6 thing.
No, it wasn't the
Oh, they're
D6.
fate dice.
Yeah, that was it. The fate dice.
Okay, I'll wait for you to finish. You're almost there. You're almost there. Just clear the last of it, and I can roll. All right.
Okay.
All right. Almost. Oh God, please,
You
please.
can
just let me
roll.
my dice.
Just
Okay,
roll.
here we go. I'm rolling. I'm rolling the first one. And 9, and the second one is 12. That's gonna hurt.
Oh god.
All right, so the first one goes for a 9, 10, 11,
Okay.
12.
I suppose
12,
my
12.
defense. I couldn't like parry or defend in any kind of way, or
You
I
have to-
will let you parry. You can parry the first one or dodge the first one. But you have to declare it before I roll. But it's fine. Just go for it.
Also, is my friend rolling, or is he mostly in the
No, he's not
way?
being attacked. He's currently losing blood and falling unconscious. He's not part of this fight.
Great. Okay, I can't even parrying. Do I make it some sort of attack roll?
Yes, you make an attack roll to parry.
I will try parry it with my halberd. So that is 8 plus 2 from the halberd for 10 plus. Is it plus my strength and no, plus my agility? 11 for
11
parrying?
is enough to just it's enough to just parry the first one. The
Okay.
second one, though. Will you please stop putting things in here?
I was just checking what that was. Okay.
Thank you. Jesus, guys, I'm using the screen.
So I knock
Alright.
it away.
Oh,
You can always make another roll for your party and check it out while you're waiting or something. However, the second one is an exceptional hit, and I believe that's how we get funky shit happening. Let me take a look.
wounding table.
It's the slightly less funky one, because the other one is when you take half of your health in one hit.
Oh yeah,
And
you're
that-
right. So
The
let's
exceptional
do,
hit isn't quite as bad.
let's do
Still
exceptional
horrible.
hits. I'm gonna roll my d12, see what it says. Oh man, using the game mechanics all the way. Here we go. Oh, it's only a 6. That's rubbish. 6 is damage times 2. A series of violent strike bashes the target to the ground, leaving them knocked down and prone. So one of his attacks just comes in and like hits you multiple times. I rolled this times 2. You'll
It
be
knocks
fine.
me prone.
Yeah, that would be 8 points of damage. Your armor still counts.
So I take 3. Knocking me prone. That's probably the worst part of this in this situation.
I know, right? You are on the ground. You can see the spirits are moving around you, surrounding you where you are. The rest of you are down the rope. You're all good. Looks like you're safe, guys.
Do I hear anything?
You hear growling and fighting going on above you.
My do I get a sense that like Hassan is a goner at this point, or if I carried him to
Still
safety
be
to the hill,
saved.
he can still be saved.
You can
Okay.
still be saved.
I am going to. So there's 2 of them right on me.
Mhm.
Can I take a disengage action and like have Hassan like over my shoulder and
Now here's the problem.
go
You're
out the
prone.
window?
So you'd have to get up first.
And does that take most of my action, or
Yeah, half your action is done getting up. And then you can probably take another half move. No, I think that's it. You can just get up and then move away. But you also have to leave him behind if you're going to move away, because you have to pick him up as well on the way up. You can't pick him up, get up, and leave.
Yeah, it's a draw or grab item.
Can I get up and pick him up and stay where I am and just get ready for the next set of stabbings?
Yes, you can.
Right. I guess I do that then.
You have to choose Hassan or your halberd.
All right, so you've got your halberd in one hand and you've got Hassan in the other. You got that, right?
Yes. I imagine I can't effectively hit them with it, but I'm still parrying like one-handed weapons.
I'll let you parry with it, but you can't hit them with it, so that's probably fine. New round, before anyone else does anything else, they're going to attack. And I'm going to give them, they're going to go full out on you because you can't go for them, and they might as well just do it. So here comes the first attack.
So I will parry the first one.
All right, roll it. You need to beat it first.
9 plus 3 for 12.
Not enough.
Okay.
Second one. Are you parrying that too?
Can I have multiple parry attempts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why you can't. Doesn't say anything. I only have one reaction.
Okay. 10.
All right, you parry the second one. The first one, however, goes through. Now, unfortunately for you, this is going to hurt.
No.
It's good for you. It's good for you. Don't worry about it.
No.
You like the pain.
Not by much, though. It's only 3 points of damage that you can't ignore.
Okay.
I'm whittling down your health little by little. Don't you worry.
Whittling down. On my action...
now it's your move.
Can I attempt to 1, keep Hassan, 2, keep the halberd, 3, climb out the window, and then climb down and take...
If you're going to climb, they're going to hit you each twice for everything you do. 2 attacks free for both of them. If you jump out the window, you will get no attacks, but you will have to make the landing.
Or take some damage, or am I going to like break my leg or something? Remember, I am huge. Like I'm a big dude, and I don't know how tall this building is.
It's high enough that it will do if you jumped a 1d8 damage to you.
Okay.
No armor soak. If you fail the roll, difficulty is only 9. Actually, difficulty is only 9, but you have a -2 penalty because you're holding Hassan.
I'm not very unlikely to make it, but I still think I'll take less damage. So I will growl at them. It's darkness. I can't really see or make out any kind of shadowy forms. Or
they're moving within the shadows themselves. It's the most haunting thing you've ever seen. You've not seen anything like this for in your life. A being of shadow itself haunting you and coming for you. It's spooky as shit.
Right. Well, then I probably will get out of there in a hurry. So yeah, like halberd, I don't know, secured. Friend Hassan, like locked around me, held around me, and then I will just burst forth from the window and into the street below.
Do it.
Acrobatics or athletics?
It makes no difference. Which one you want? Which one you want? You can be acrobatics or athletics.
Athletics. At least I get a +3 from that, but you said
agility, not strength.
Oh, so then +1.
You're trying to land safer. You're not trying to leap over things.
Okay. So
just
+1. Did you say there were some minuses? No.
-2.
Yeah. So like a 2.
All right. You leap out as hard as you can, and you go full tilt to get out of there, and you tumble backwards, and you fall. Hassan lands on you as you hit these crates that are magically out there for you, because a big bit of dust up. But you're mostly safe. Take 5 points of damage.
Ouch. Okay. I've taken 12 points of damage, which would almost would wound like anyone else in the party, but
but you're tough.
For me, it's nothing. Okay.
Exactly. See, it worked out. It's fine.
It's only going to take how many? Is like 1 health point a day or something to come back?
You heal your stamina a day if you get patched up.
Okay, yeah.
So you're looking pretty good. From the building itself, the darkness you can see is swirling, and it's almost like it's got a face of kind as it looks down upon all of you down there.
Run,
fly, you fools!
run. I am literally commanding everyone to run and running.
Yeah. Oh, for the older priest that I'm supposed to.
Oh God, can I carry checks as well as my friend? Because he's not gonna go anywhere.
I will let you carry both of them and just fucking bolts through the night to get out. Getting away from the station is not a problem. Where would you guys like to go? Where would you guys consider safe?
Let's go to the Esfahani. I trust them inherently.
It's a good point. If you can get to Mazar, maybe you can clear everything up.
And I would basically look at the rest of the group and go, this must be some kind of misunderstanding. I'll talk to Maizar Esfahani. He's the head. He'll know what happened here. I'm convinced that this is some kind of mix.
Conveniently, is the temple on the route to Esfahani, so I can drop off Hassan and the priests to like heal him?
Yes, you can go to the temple, but at the moment you're just fleeing, so
Sure.
you'll need a place to stop and catch your breath because you're injured as well. And you can run back to the temple if you think that'd be the safest place.
That's true. I say to Fahud, we need a place to heal. And you see like the cuts on me, but you might also see on the neck like the slowly encroaching venom. There is an urgency. Checks.
Chexy boy.
Sorry,
Checks.
was I muted there? Tahini is with us. Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Yes.
So she's got quarters in the temple. She can
Yes, she does.
she can sneak us in their healing herbs, poultices, and whatnot.
No, but Aref is also here. He's the head of the temple. You can also ask him. Tahini isn't your heal bot, guys. She might know about patching up, but she's not a heal bot. She's not gonna be like, guys, don't worry. Boom, I've got this.
I didn't know she
yeah.
I haven't slept in 24 hours. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Okay. You can't blame me for that, Chex.
I'm not blaming you for that. I'm just stating it as an empirical fact.
Again,
sure.
We should head towards the Esfahani mansion. There is something not quite right, but they took me in as I was only an orphan. They brought me up. They wouldn't just discard me like this. There's absolutely no reason that I know of that they would discard me like that.
I turn, like, looking to Roshan, carrying the priest in one arm and my dying friend in another, while I'm all cut up, and go, we need half an hour, girl.
And I think that is a good place for us to end today's session, guys. Because we can always continue this later. It's just hit 10 o'clock, so we've been going for 3 hours. So I think that's a good time to stop.
Cool.
All right, guys, I'm going to end the broadcast. One good thing, one bad thing. Also, Chex looks like he's about to fucking pass out. So I'm like, you know what? I'm
just getting myself comfortable.
Chex, you are literally about to fall asleep. I'm like, you know what? I know how this fucking works. One good thing, one bad thing, guys.
The skill system with the ranks and stuff is confusing me, but I think that's just the lack of practice. Good thing is it's actually the character creation was quite fun on this one. It was an interesting character creation. I enjoyed it.
That's right. Next up, Dan.
I quite enjoyed that. I like the idea of from what I've read from the setting in this document, and I also think there's once you get everything set up, it's a very like simple system, rolling the d12 and adding some modifiers and such. But I like there's a lot of choice. There's a lot of adaptability and a lot of options. We've made some very different, very interesting characters, I think, from this system.
Fair dues. And that was your good thing. What was your bad thing? Bad thing? I think I'm not.
it might be a little too punishing that you literally are incapable of doing nothing at like a -3 unless you put like a point in it. So you might end up with a very, very large, very, very low skill list, like quite a wide build where you've just got like a point in everything. So you don't.
Because you can't do if you have 0 points in it, you can't do shit because you have a -2.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
And often the things that you are
-3,
bad
in
at.
fact.
Yeah, often the things you are bad at, you also have less than 3 in the stat of. So it's -3 from not having the skill and like -1 or 2 from not having the stat either. So it basically makes them very difficult to do. Not practically impossible, but they can only do very easy things. I'm not sure if -2 would be better or -3. Like it would just take numbers and balancing. But I kind of like the system. In that way, it's something I haven't quite seen before. But...
No problem. And finally, my boy Henrik.
Hello. I think I did like the setup of the character creation. It's very open, and I do like this kind of like agnostic class system. Like it's a class agnostic system. Sorry. Wrong order. The only thing that I would probably put as a bad thing is the whole thing with dodging and parrying. This is all just, I think that needs to be streamlined.
I think that's fair. I think dodging, parrying, and reactions and stuff could probably do a bit more streamlined. All right, you guys up for this next week again? Or are you done with this forever?
I should be. Yeah.
All right.
Should be, yeah.
All right, Dan.
Good to do it.
Cool. In that case, we'll definitely do this again next time. So I'm going to stop the broadcast, guys. Anyone who's still watching, thank you very much for putting yourself through the 3 hours of hell that I've just put you through. And we'll see you next week.